Uh, Jay here. Hold on a second. Let me check this out. I had to check, make sure my audio is straight. I am actually um out of town right now, so I'm not in my regular step, so it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But um, wanted to come on here stream. I'm out of town at the in-laws, and I have free time. So this is what I'm fin to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I got a few things I want to talk about. Actually, some Comic Con stuff. I want to talk about um, some other content going to be reviewing coming up, content reviewing now, just a few things. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing so let's see here. Let me put all the stuff in the little diatribe here that I'm gonna be talking about because like I said, I'm gonna be here for a minute today. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got. Let's see. Lanterns. And at a certain point, I'm gonna get into like TV show review stuff. You know what I mean? Big Brother, Love After Lockup. Talking about Raising Canaan. Definitely gonna be talking about Raising Canaan. And Fightland coming up. You know what I'm saying? A few of those things. You know what I mean? So yeah. Trying to get the hang of this streaming thing. Doing it on a Saturday afternoon around noon, or not noon, but around 3. That's a little but we're gonna see what it do, right? So yeah. Give me 1 second here. Let's go ahead and save that. We'll get that Big Crowther. I can't even fucking spell. This shit's ridiculous. Anyway, so what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna do some quick trailer reactions also, just to kind of get them out the way. I did not do my trailer reaction to the Lantern, so I'm about to pull that up now. We're gonna do that right quick, and then we'll get into kind of the other stuff here. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over to that real quick. Give me 1 second here, because I definitely want to talk about this Lanterns trailer and how I feel like some of these people who are reviewing this stuff are just being on straight, honest, kind of BS. You know, 1 second. All right, let's go here. All right, so actually, you know what? Let's put that big. Y'all want to see that? Y'all want to see me? All right, so let's do this trailer right quick to Lanterns.
It's time to get up, Junior.
So, you're a space cop.
No, I'm just being trained.
All right, new lesson. Take the ring and fly.
Just fly.
I'm sorry. Fly, please. What's that?
You're the backup quarterback.
For now. What do you think is going on?
It's no accident we're here. These victims are gonna end up being alien.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I think this is more than just a feeling.
This is a threat no one's ever seen before.
What do you know about manhunters?
Where'd you hear that word?
Manhunters are the most dangerous beings to ever exist in the galaxy. And it could take the form of any species.
So it could be anyone.
He's gonna send an army to put you down.
Do you resent Hal Jordan?
The ring's always been mine. Jordan's just keeping it warm.
Sinestro.
You don't really believe he's your backup, do you, Hal?
I love how Sinestro looks.
Let's say what he actually is.
My replacement. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. How about a beer?
All right, so 1 second here. All right, so that's Lantern. So I've seen some of the dialogue around this trailer. I honestly, this show, and I will say, I think the way that they marketed it initially wasn't bad, but the comic book movie community just in general would be on something different. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants things kind of curated to their mindset of stuff and whatever. I personally think that this does not look. This looks really good. I like the whole, True Detective kind of vibe to it. I know there's rumors, which have kind of been verified for the most part, that Hal Jordan dies in the first episode. It's not really a big deal necessarily because there's a few things that they can do with that. He could die, he could come back. He could turn, he can transition into Parallax later, things like that. They're building a universe where he could come in and go out possibly, whatever that has to be. Now they do have Kyle Chandler playing him, which does mean that it can be a, overall older version of the character, which I think, people have problems with. They don't like the fact that, the John Stewart aspect of it and him replacing him. That just gives more variations to a few things. They could have this happen and they could still do a Green Lantern. They can do a Green Lantern solo still. You got to think about it. They could get another actor who plays a younger version of Green Lantern that looks like a younger Kyle, Chandler. What's wrong with that? There's so many things that they can do, but it does kind of mess with the timelines a little bit, depending on how they do it. I do get that. You got people complaining that they just want it to be more cosmic because Green Lantern is a cosmic story. He can be on Earth and be cosmic. There are elements that you can see of this, and who's to say that he doesn't go there and handle those, issues or do the things that he needs to do with that? I mean, I don't see what the problem is with it being a little bit of a Earth story, and then they go cosmic, they show aspects. I mean, look at Sinestro. That's a very comic accurate Sinestro, it looks like. And, it's about blending those two worlds because we just got Supergirl where they did the cosmic thing, but they did it just like Guardians of the Galaxy. And everybody was pissed at that. But Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the most cosmic iterations of, a comic book movie type thing that we have. Now that fell flat, but it is what it is. Probably shouldn't have did Supergirl in the first place, to be perfectly honest. I'm all for this DCU, but they have stumbled on a few things. Superman 25 is not one of them. I don't want to hear that from nobody. But outside of that, I think that this looks really good. It looks like it'll be intriguing. It has a certain level of maturity to it, which is good because a lot of like the Snyderverse guys, the main thing they cry about is that world was more mature because, I guess Superman has to only be for adult males that are mature or whatever, I guess, that's a whole nother thing. But I personally think Lanterns looks really good. I think it's going to be good. I'm not 100% sold on Aaron Pierre as an actor in general. You know what I mean? He's really, I will say his manner of acting lends to a John Stewart because he's very one note. The same character that he has in Rebel Ridge is the same character that he seems to have in here. It's the same character that he had in the M. Night Shyamalan movie Old. So that's no surprise to me. But cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I personally don't have no complaints with it. It looks good. I think this is going to be a good addition to the DCU, along with Superman. They effed up Supergirl. Fine. Clayface looks like it's going to be fire, and bring like they're building a world. They're not just building, one vision, and they're not trying to have just an overall just dark universe like the DCEU was. And I think that's what people don't get and don't understand. They're trying to build a world where it has different aspects to it. Central City, like if the Flash comes in, his world has to, or his area has to be different from Gotham City and different from Metropolis and things of that nature. But whatever. I think it's cool. I think they're going in the right direction. Yeah, they had some hiccups, but whatever. Who gives a damn? You know what I mean? It is what it is. You're gonna watch it. You're either gonna watch it because you enjoy it, or you're gonna watch it to hate on it. You know what I mean? And so they're gonna get their views one way or another. But I think this is a good direction for this. So so be it. It's no complaints on my end. You know what I'm saying? And whilst we're actually here talking about that, I do want to talk about this whole DCU, everything that's going on. And actually what we're going to do next is we're actually going to watch a video from Movie Hubbub, because he actually did a video speaking on these. You know what? Let's just hop right over into Movie Hubbub and let's see what he was talking about, because I really like what he was, what he was saying in his video. So let me 1 second. Let me pull this up here. All right, so this is the video here. We're about to check this out. So this is Movie Hubbub. He, has commentary, and mainly in this, DCU realm and everything. And he really breaks things down in a very distinct way. And I really respect the way that he does do it. He comes with very poignant things, and I like that. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little something I have coming on the back end Monday, because I have a debate set up with a Zack Snyder fan, a Restore the Snyderverse enthusiast, and we're going to have a conversation. But I'll let you guys know who it is, and when it'll be happening on Monday. That's what we have it set for so far, and really kind of see what we kind of can think about these things. So hold on 1 second here. Let's take a look at this Movie Hubbub video, and then we'll kind of go from there. And I'll be stopping it periodically to kind of point out some things with it. Okay.
What's the hubbub? Is the DCU flopping? Is Zack Snyder making The Dark Knight Returns now? I'll give my Clayface new trailer reaction too. And hey, how about a new Lanterns trailer as well? I've also got some Zack Snyder bro channels I'm reacting to and debunking on. Let's get into it. Peter Safran, who serves as the co-chairman and co-CEO of DC Studios at Warner Brothers Discovery, recently commented again on Supergirl. He stated, "Obviously you saw it this weekend. Not everything's gonna work, but we don't judge the success of our 10-year plan based on any individual project along the way. We're expanding the tonal range of the DC universe, and Clayface does just that." End quote. Supergirl, just the second movie of the new DC universe, was featuring a mid-level superhero of a specific Tom King adaptation. Besides the Restore Zack Snyderverse bros, who were dead set on hating it before it came out, there was a...
So I want to stop and point something out there. He points something out very valid. So now, do I think it was a smart idea for James Gunn to jump into Supergirl? No, I don't. And especially the way that he went about doing it. Like, you just had Superman. I don't know if he was trying to buy some time before he went into, Batman, but he needed something to fit there. Peacemaker was not the best. It wasn't horrible. I just didn't necessarily enjoy it, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? As far as the actual DCU universe, I think it wasn't a smart idea to go with Supergirl, because you have a lot of these Restore the Snyderverse people. They really don't care what it is, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's the whole disingenuous part to everything. When they see these things, they say, "Oh, Zack Snyder's had in on this." Well, I don't give a damn. They will sit there. I've actually literally watched some of these Snyder fans watch a trailer, and you can see they actually are intrigued, but it's not good for their branding. They're rage baiting so they can get their, their monies or whatever. What's his name? Like the cosmic drinker or the drinker or whatever. He's horrible. He hates everything. And here's the thing: let's hypothetically, it's not going to happen. Let's say the whole DCU comes back. They're going to complain about what Zach does at that point, because now they have to, because that's their brand, is being whining and being complaining and things of that nature. That's their brand. That's how they get their views. It's rage baiting. It is what it is. The only thing is, if it were to hypothetically happen, they get a boost for it. Oh, we did it. He destroyed it. We did all this. It's just ridiculous. But back to Hubbo's point, yes, Supergirl probably wasn't the best route to go. I don't think he should necessarily jump to Wonder Woman, but that probably would have been a little bit better to go to Wonder Woman and then go to Batman later. I just think the whole Supergirl aspect of it wasn't too smart, to be perfectly honest with you.
Significant anti-woke subhuman subculture that determined anyone right-leaning politically should be warned of its woke messaging. Unfortunately for the movie, it was pretty good to good by most accounts, but a large portion of the audience was suppressed from going. The notable channels who do that, like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, can't even point to what's bad or woke about it.
Let me point something out. So the Critical Drinker, and I'm gonna address this woke thing too. The Critical Drinker, you can tell he did, like, people have their perception of what something should be, and that's the only variation of it can be. That kind of gave this super masculine view of things, but the storytelling in those movies was garbage. Man of Steel, I love Man of Steel. It was cool. That was not Clark Kent. That was a Superman. Like, they like the demigod, go blow stuff up thing about the characterization of these characters. There is no real characterization of these characters in these movies. So that just means that you just like the whole meathead aspect of, punch, 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 fly, fly, fly. That's it, And then that woke aspect. So funny they're saying that this is woke mainly because it's a girl and whatnot, but they don't look at the fact that just like the Odyssey just went through with casting, Elliot Page, right? Lupita Nyong'o. You do know that Zack Snyder cast Ezra Miller as the Flash, whose pronouns are them, they. I believe there was something also with Ray Fisher. I can't really remember, but in the same vein, right? So wouldn't that be woke? Wouldn't that be checking a box, the whole Ezra Miller aspect of things, stuff like that? Or is that not? You get what I'm saying?
It was railroaded by fake outrage. The anti-woke influencers really hurt it, as we saw the audience that did show up actually enjoyed it. To Peter's point, it is a 10-year plan. Honestly, in 10 years of the DCEU Snyderverse, Supergirl was quite a bit better than most of its movies. There should be a level of patience, as we are out of the superhero boom era now. At one point, in the peak days, even mediocre superhero movies could do well. Now it's not that simple or easy when trying to bring back a genre, basically. Even Marvel.
And let me point something else out too. So
with its tentpoles are relying heavily on.
Sorry. So let me point something else out too. Zack Snyder does cinematography great. Absolutely great. That is his claim to fame. He is not a great director. It's not just Sucker Punch. There is the Rebel Moons of the world. There is, 300 was great, right? Love 300, but it's all cinematic is what it is. And I've made this point before, but people don't look at his characterization of the characters in his movie. We have right here Lex Luthor. Did you guys love Jesse Eisenberg? Did we actually get to see him fully develop? We didn't, did we? But what we got was not a good iteration of that. If you think that Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman, you're tripping. She wasn't. It was a good movie, but here's the funny thing about that. The part of that movie that I believe was Patty Jenkins didn't do, which was the last fourth of it, the part that people complain about because it's super dark and it's just super cinematic, but you can't see what's going on. That's the part of the movie that Zack Snyder did, right? Okay. Another character, and when I edit this, I'm going to put the pictures up of the characters, but Zack Snyder did have his iteration that he approved for his universe while he was still the active head director of these movies, to the point where he made sure that Batman was in Suicide Squad. He approved that Joker that people hated. Hated. That was going to be Zack's Joker in his universe, right? Nobody brings those things up whatsoever. And it's absolutely ridiculous. You guys liked that version of Barry Allen. That's your Barry Allen, but that's what you cheer. And the only reason you cheer for is because we all loved Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm not gonna lie. When they cast Ben Affleck, I was through the roof. I was like, oh hell yes. Right? And Ben looks like Bruce Wayne. He was big. Boom. We didn't really get to see that character, flesh itself out. Henry Cavill was great as Superman because he looked the part. He looked like Superman, big, that whole thing. His Clark Kent was trash. I think David Cornsweet will be a better Superman overall. He's already a better Clark Kent. You guys think he's whiny, not recognizing the fact that Clark came to Earth as a baby. He grew up as a human. He has human emotions. He's not like Zach's Clark, who pretty much they're making it seem like he was just an alien the whole time and never figured out how to really be a human. That doesn't make any sense. You guys like the big crash and boom of it. You don't give a damn about the characterization of these characters as you claim you do. You just want some shit to complain about.
Nostalgia from when it was most successful. The Avengers Doomsday.
Oh boy, now I have heavy lag going on. It's one of those days. But here, we'll get back to that. But I do agree with the whole aspect of the Supergirl. That makes total sense to me. It probably wasn't the best bet to go with, truthfully. Oh my God. I am having technical issues here, y'all. My apologies. Let's see here. Let me do this because this is actually. I'm gonna end this live. I will be back in a moment having some technical issues.